gosh, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Z, and welcome to Ships, the relationships show where we chronicle the difficult and hidden world of true to life relationships. Guys, before we got started today, Pastor Dr. Hosea Collins made a comment. I'm not going to comment on it. But if I kind of just do some little bit stuff out of character, then y'all know why. Hey, what's up, everybody? We're gonna start with you, Pastor Rick. How you doing?
I'm blessed.
How you be? How you
Awesome.
be?
God is good. I'm excited to be here on our season finale. This is it. That's right.
Hey!
That's right.
Can you believe it? 11 episodes.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
made it through.
Yes, ma'am.
Sister Janine, how you doing?
I'm a little sad that it's the season finale because I'm gonna miss you guys. So we're just gonna have to figure out ways to stay engaged between now and season 2.
Girl, we'll be on the phone right after we hang up. We'll just get right back into it. Keep it rolling. And of course, Dr. Collins, how you doing?
I feel like it's the last day of school and I'm ready for the summer.
We're ready for the summer. Yay. But before we get started into our topic today, we know that we had a tragedy out in Texas, which is a couple of hundred miles, I believe, outside of San Antonio. Yeah. So we did not want to let our show go without just acknowledging the victims. I think it was 15 people, a teacher and 14 elementary students who were gunned down. So we just wanted to have a moment of silence. And if anybody wanted to say anything, just to acknowledge that. I mean, we know prayers and, my thing is, of course, with we got to get gun control, but I don't want to go into that whole spiel and I don't want to start crying. So anybody have anything they would like to say before we just do a
thoughts and prayers to all the victims, and we still believe in the power of prayer. So let's humble ourselves, seek God's face, turn from our wicked ways, and pray, and obey as He leads.
Yes,
absolutely. Okay. Yeah, it's one of the most tragic things you could ever hear. People, but children, it's just
I know,
senseless. It really is senseless, and of course, our condolences to the families and all the victims. I pray for just the minds of people. We're coming out of a month. This is mental health. May is mental health month, and we've been praying against a lot of wickedness that's been going on. Yeah, and we want to make sure we continue to, be in the forefront of prayer, fasting, whatever we need to do to help people.
Oh, man, that's so true.
Amen.
All right, so okay, just like maybe let's just do a couple of seconds, a moment of silence, just for them. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So we just wanted to make sure we could not do this show and not acknowledge what's going on in our country. So, we're going to switch up to a message in a bottle. Dr. Hosea Collins and I did a show called She Said, He Said a couple years back. And we're getting...
Hold on, Z. We got to play that.
Don't rob us of our intro.
Don't rob us of my...
I did ask you. I did say, how are you guys doing?
No.
Oh.
The message in a bottle.
Let me just play it.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, y'all.
Message in a bottle, baby.
Yeah. I am so sorry. You're right. Y'all right. Keep me in check. We gotta have that. We gotta have that singing on the end. Okay. So again, we did a show. She Said, He Said, and we got some traction on an actual comment that someone made on the show. So what we did is we told the young lady to watch today and that Dr. Collins would answer her question. So let me pull it up. So let me find the question. So the actual show we did back on December the 18th of 2018, and it's called Speak to the King and Your Man. And this young lady, she said, she starts off by saying, I need prayers. I've tried everything, being supportive, prayed, fasted, and still I was rejected. How long should I believe in someone who doesn't commit? I'm sorry. I just came back and just said praying, and I did pray for this young lady. She came back and said, thank you so much for your support. I believe the Lord gave me this assignment, but it's not easy. It's a war, literally, and whenever I want to give up, I get some sort of encouragement to keep interceding. The Smith Wigglesworth's wife story is so wonderful. However, since I am not married and physical, I just find it very confusing if I should be submissive or not. Too many voices out there speaking opposite things, but it's always different perspectives. If I know so much about spiritual warfare and curses and can detect those problems in this stormy on and off relationship, it really requires a miracle of God to get married in these horrible times, at least for me. So, gangs away, guys.
Well, I'm glad I got some help answering this time. And just to give some more perspective for our listening audience, this show we was talking about speaking, as Zondra made it, to the king in your man, just to let you know that every man has two people in him. There's a king in him.
Yes.
And there's a fool in him.
Yep.
The one you speak to grows.
Yes, sir.
So know that. And she was speaking from that, and she asked the question, but a problem a lot of people make, they try to apply marital wisdom principles of sowing into dating.
Right. Yes.
And dating is where you discover if this person is right for marriage with you. So you don't try to invest in this in the process of dating the way you would invest in your marriage. Right. See, you have made vows. You have made a commitment before God. Yes. You have come together in holy matrimony. You have made a covenant. Mm-hmm. Therefore, there is a sense of responsibility and obligation to fight for the survivor as much as you can with all that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go applying that same degree of investment into discovering if somebody is your spouse, if it requires that level of investment to discover if they are, that means they're not.
Right.
That part.
No, and that's wonderful, Pastor.
That part.
A couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, maybe I did something on the same topic, where you make wife investments in a girlfriend relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow,
what you try to pull out of it is wifey. You try to pull out whatever that looks like to you. And you're right, Pastor. Many people don't give it time to even flourish into a boyfriend or girlfriend relationship, yet alone the wifey standard.
Right.
And yeah, that's the biggest mistake that you can ever make, is invest in something that is not going to yield.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They have to show you. They have to prove themselves to you. That's what a man does. Ladies, that's what he does. He proves himself to you. You don't drag it out of him. That's the worst thing you do. That's the worst thing you do. Yeah. You're dealing with it. Now you're bringing we talked about this just a second ago. You're bringing the fool out of him now because you're making him do something he doesn't want to do. Yeah.
We often call it being the wife before the girlfriend.
There you go.
Wow.
You jump straight to being the wife. I'm really concerned that she was talking about submission.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Sister girl, who are you submitting to?
Come on now.
And why?
Come on now. Come on now.
Look, certainly we can't put all men in one category. We can't put all women in one category. I'll talk about my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that at one point I was on mission after mission because I thought, even though I believed in God, I guess I didn't trust him to bring me a whole man. I'm like, he's going to bring me broken pieces because he knows I'm creative and I like to build things.
Wow.
So, so he's like, right. He was like Mr. Potato Head. So I could just dip in and pull out the lips and the nose and the ears and help him with salvation and, building this person instead of stepping back and saying, well, God wants his best for me.
Right.
This dude can't be his best. This is a hot mess.
Yeah.
And I just decided, I would take Mission Impossible after Mission Impossible. I would put on my inadequate rescuer cape, put my arms on my hips, and off I went to save another Negro from himself.
So you're from that tribe? You're from that tribe, save a Negro?
Right. And she's upset that he won't commit. That tells you right there. If a person is not willing to commit to the relationship to the point to where it's you and them forever, if they're only doing it because you're forcing them, then they're not doing it.
Right.
And later what will happen if you do bug this person into marrying you?
Yeah.
You deceive yourself for expecting anything more after you walk down the aisle.
Right.
And look, who's to say when you can get to marriage? It sounds like the kind of situation where you'll get an engagement ring and be engaged for 7 years.
And finally, when you break him down, he pretty much has ran his race through. Yeah, he's done it all. And he sits there, okay, I guess I'll marry you,
Oh, wow.
Like you said, Pastor Jose, anybody that is not ready to commit, I know what I'm going to say may sound crazy, but thank them.
Yep.
Come on. That's
so
right.
They're good. Telling you or showing you that they're not all in. That's a gift.
I agree.
Right? You don't have to ask any other questions. You can close that chapter and move on to somebody who wants you.
That's a gift.
Come on now.
That's a gift of time. That's a gift of heartache. Rather not having heartache. It's so many variables there. You're right. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Pastor Jose has counseled a lot of people in that situation, and not just women. Men are in that situation too.
Yeah.
It's this thing called hope, and I'm like, no, that's not. That
They're
old
hoping.
term. That old saying that they'll show you who they are. Believe who they are when they show you.
You better say that.
Yeah,
in the words of my pastor, Bishop Noel Jones.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes rejection is direction.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Woo.
But unfortunately, I think we really just don't know what healthy relationships look like. Know how to get in them. Right. We just don't know. We're all so jacked up. We don't know what it. And I'm speaking for myself. A lot of it, the guys that I probably should have been with, I just didn't recognize them. Yeah. I didn't recognize them as a potential mate.
Hey, that's so good. I think that should be a show right there. Mm-hmm. What defining what a healthy relationship is. I guess it's back to kind of we talked about a while back, realistic expectations.
Right. Yeah, because we don't know, which is going to bring us in a short time to our discussion for today, is what we really, because there's some things we talk about in public, and there's some things we talk about in private. One of the things I found out about me is I usually say stuff that people are thinking, and but they won't say because it's not tactful or it's not, I had to learn what's tactful and what's not tactful.
Amen.
But
yes.
Drinking to that
but I just had to learn it. But I just assumed, but I had to learn that when you're that people are honest and forthcoming, honest and upfront. Now, I'm not saying you say everything about what's going on with you, but you're pretty much you're honest with if you're dating someone, you're really like, man, I really want to date you. You seem cool. I'm not thinking that you want to necessarily have sex with the person or you're trying to use the person, you know. And I know that exists. I know that people do that, but my mind, as you know, we see the world as we are, not as it is. I just never put that as because Pastor, you said it. You was like, you're so trusting with, I don't know if you said the world, but
now you got to realize in this playing field that you're dealing in, and majority. Now I'm not saying the way it should be. I'm talking about the way it is.
What it is, right?
Majority of people dating or having sex. So don't think it's strange when someone's dating you and you're like, oh my God, you wanted to have sex. Most of the people dating are dating for sex. Not saying that's the only thing, but there's definitely something there this society has created an expectation of.
Right. So that's where so it's gonna get into our is you is or is you ain't. Just roll into
let's go. Let's
roll
go.
on into it. It is so good, Pastor, with what you said as far as the expectations and what. So this is where some people, I guess, may have trouble. I refuse to believe that it's just me. Y'all may say, yes, Zondra, it's just you. But expectations, or when you're dating somebody. So our topic is you is or is you ain't. So what is the time limit? So you meet somebody and y'all hanging out, and like you said, he's expecting sex. Do you tell him, dude, I'm not having sex with you, or do you wait till he make the move on you? Like, how do you even date nowadays? Like, what do you do?
Well,
so
I think you tell him, though. Yeah, you should tell him, because
after he make the move.
I'm saying when you're dating somebody, you're talking, right? You're getting to know each other.
Right.
Dating is collecting data. So now, if you know you're celibate, why waste a lot of time?
Right.
In that regard, like, now that doesn't mean it's gonna stop him, but at least you were straightforward. So if you know that's all he's after, maybe he'll leave you alone and you don't waste more time. But in there getting to know each other, because I'm sure you're gonna ask him, where are you in your life? What's going on? Well, I'm in a season now with Wild. You know, I've decided to remain celibate. I'm da da da. Like, you put that out there in your delivery of who you are and where you're going.
Yeah, that could be, the first intro. Absolutely. Given that part, like your introduction.
Oh, so you can say that in the first date?
Why would you not?
Yeah, I would do that.
That's what I've been trying to. Okay, I need help. So what do you say on the first date? Come on, Janine, help me out.
So I think, Zondra, what Pastor Rick and Pastor Hosea are hoping you come to realize or accept, that certainly there are some things that you talk about at the beginning, but you have a list so long you need to take a scroll with you when you go out. I mean, you literally are asking for more than what you bring when you're going to buy a house. Like, you were looking for paperwork and bank statements, and
I am not. I'm not looking.
Credit
close.
Shame the devil. Yes, you do.
I don't ask him for his bank statement.
Stop it.
I'm not asking for his bank. I may ask him his credit score.
Lies.
I may ask him his credit score, but I ain't gonna tell him.
I just met you. My name is Harold.
I was joking.
Thank you.
Yo,
I need to know if he pays bills.
Somebody chime in, please.
And support Zondra. Somebody help.
Oh God! Hey, I don't mind being over here by myself. Y'all know. Okay,
yes,
go
you
ahead.
do, because you're on a dating show.
Hey,
Just literally hosting
hey, I'm
it.
just being. Hey,
Literally
at least I'm being
it.
honest. I'm being honest. I want to know.
Credit score?
That comes up on the first date.
No, it doesn't.
Who does
No, it
that?
doesn't.
Well, that's y'all first dates.
But why is that your business? Because let me tell you what a man's going to think. Let me explain to you. If you're asking me that on the first date, I think you're a gold digger and you're in it for what you can get.
Yep.
I don't know you.
Yep.
So I'm only making an assessment of you of the data I'm getting.
Absolutely.
Why am I telling you I'm celibate then on the first date?
What is
And
that?
then I can say that because my whole point is this.
I mean, you want it for free. You want all my money, and you don't want me expecting nothing.
Right. That's right. You want free dinner. That's pretty much what you said. You said
Obviously, this doesn't have to be
Oh God, this is so
what
funny.
you
Okay.
ask and don't ask
I'm
on the
kidding.
first date. So you don't
Right.
wait 2, 3 months, 6 months in, and then you pop the big C word, I'm celibate.
But I'll say
Right.
this really quick. Say it in the middle of your lobster. You want to eat your lobster first and say, you know what? I'm celibate. Boom. Get
Oh,
That's
so
right.
when you get the lobster tails and the
That's right. Make sure you
filet
get the lobster.
mignon.
I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
I'm trying to help
So he
you.
was so what? But he ain't gonna ditch me on the. You know, a lot of these brothers get up and ditch you. I'm going to the bathroom and get up.
Okay, y'all. Look,
Maybe need to tell him after he paid for the bill. Okay, no, I'm serious. I've heard of that where the
No,
brothers
let me
have
tell you
gotten
what
up
guys
in the
do.
middle of the
that's
day to
another
leave.
show.
No,
That's
what they
another
do now, what they honestly do now, seriously, they'll talk to you across the so you coming back to the apartment? Oh no, not now. Oh, that's okay.
On the first date,
On the first
Greg.
day, and they split the bill. Literally, they split the bill.
See, this is why I need a
Let
dating
me
coach.
tell you how to look at that. Let's go
Okay.
perspective. If you split that bill is $100, and you got it stuck with 50.
Yeah.
That is $50 of the best investment you could have made, because that $50 just save you another 5 months of
That's
wasting
right.
no time.
And
agree.
$5,000.
Low
Absolutely.
down, dirty. You better be happy and thank God that all it cost you was $50 of your life instead of 5 months of your sanity.
So you're saving time and money
Yes.
right there.
Okay. All right. I get this.
Zondra, when we get you out in the field and we bring potentials to you, for you, Precious, we're going to write a list of questions you can ask, which
I
means
need that.
everything not on that list, you
I
cannot.
can't.
Yeah, Janine, this is
I
what we
want
do.
that, Janine. I want that.
No, I think we
need
should have
that.
an earpiece in our ear, and we're pretty much radioing in exactly what to say.
Shut up, Zondra. Shut up.
No. We're going to tell you exactly what to say and how to say it.
It's going to be so
That's
robotic.
Jose's
It's going to
tone.
be so robotic.
And you think what's your credit score is not absence of feeling and intimate? Now you're worried about robotics.
Right. I was wondering in the middle of your steak, what's your credit score? Is it 500? Well.
You know what? You might as well take a vial of you and get a blood sample so you can get the genetic testing and see what he has a predisposition to while you at it.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear you guys. I'm
over
exaggerating.
We kind of got into this conversation, and this is a platform. Men might want to start sending in those that are interested. I think it's obvious that we're setting up something here as we're going to be searching for love for Zondra. So my single brothers out there need to put their bid in. Go ahead and send us that comment or email.
I don't know. I may run them off, but I will.
Whatever
say,
you do, if you put your bid in, don't send it to Zondra. Send it to one of the three of us because she's not ready to take it.
So let me ask you this:
what is it? Butterflies.
entertainment@gmail.com. So let me tell you this. So a guy or a girl with a credit score that's 300 or 400. So it doesn't change.
What kind of dating are you doing with 300?
No, listen. No, I'm saying down the line.
They don't need a date. They need a job.
They need a career. What?
But you dated them 6 months and you didn't know that. You didn't know that. You didn't know that I bring this up. We're laughing. We're laughing. But my point is that you're dating somebody that, and you, like you said, it's none of your business. I agree. It's none of your business, but I have, decent, I have really good credit. So if you have 800, 900 credit scores, you're dating this person for 5 or 6 months. And when that conversation happens, he got 300 or 400. Where y'all go from there? Like,
nobody says 6 months. At the point that you begin to get more, like for one, if we're not even on something, I don't even know if I like you yet. Like, why do I need to get?
But after you like the person, isn't it harder for you to break off with them when you find out they got a 300 credit score?
Yes, Mr. Ladd. Yes.
Well, watch this. Let me ask you a question because you put it that way. That's just hypothetical.
Okay.
What if you find out this brother is amazing? You've
Okay.
never had nobody to treat you this way.
Okay.
You've never had someone that respects you. And really, he's filled with chivalry. He's a gentleman. No
Mm-hmm.
funny business. He's not, he respects your celibacy. He's a Christian brother. I mean, all the boxes. You're like, oh my God, this must be too good to be true. But you
See?
find out his one deficiency. He's not good with money. Maybe, he grew up there poor or this, that, and the other. And he's spending, that's his one deficiency. But he's open, like he's teachable.
Right.
He's not one that's prideful, arrogant. You can't tell me nothing. He wants to grow. He just doesn't know. He didn't come from a family that would teach him. He doesn't have a background. And his one area of deficiency is an area that you're actually really strong in.
Yeah.
And he's
So,
open.
Zondra, what's the answer?
Dr. Hosea, at my age, if the brother got a 300 or 400, now y'all can help me with that.
I'm not saying 300. I'm not going that low. I'm just saying I didn't give him a 300 credit score. I'm saying if every other box, hypothetically,
That's huge, though,
and his
man.
one area of weakness is an area that you are really, really strong.
Right.
And he doesn't have a problem receiving, he respects your advice. He respects, like he's not unteachable and
hold on.
You automatically cancel him. That's my question.
And that's a great thought, because now here I am being transparent as I am light skinned. When I was dating Cole, I was horrible with money.
You were young.
But listen.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You were young.
At that time, my credit was jacked because I was letting everybody else use my credit. I was co-signing with everybody that were, messing up my credit. And when Cole came into my life and so forth, when we got together, she looked at my credit. She's like, what's this here? I'm like, these are all people I helped out and so forth. I see. Your new word today is no. So once we got there, I had to understand how to work money. So she handled the money. I understood how to pretty much invest all of that because she had the discipline enough to work the money. And I agree with Pastor. Then I get the whole age thing. I'm with you.
Right.
I'm with you. However, some people just don't know. But if they have all the great qualities, as Pastor Hosea says, why not give them a chance?
Go
and the
ahead,
fact
Janine.
that he may not use, maybe the brother pretty much works cash and has bad credit.
So God's not going to force anybody on you. He will bring people to you, cross paths, and you exercise free will. If you have a list of deal breakers and the credit scores on that, fine, that's you. When it all plays out, you can have an excellent credit score and an empty bed, and you get to pick.
Yeah.
And one more thing on that same note. Oftentimes, I think this is important for single people to know. Oftentimes, with great marriages, great relationships, people often have opposite areas of strengths and weaknesses. That is very common. Like a person will be, one of the spouses will be really great at something that the other spouse is horrible at. And that's where but at the same time, their spouse is horrible at that. They're really great at something else. That the other one is horrible at. And we cover one another in that regard. It's like a basketball team. Everybody can play point guard. I need you to play a position that I don't play. So that is not uncommon.
Right. No, I agree with you. Now, what you guys have said is it's really good. To answer your question, it would piggyback to when you said, Pastor, that if you're really good at it, he may have had A, B, C, F, and G. I'm looking at the age thing. If he's been that way for so long, that's a habit, right?
And that's a good point.
Let's keep it wrong. That's a habit. He's been so now when we're sitting down, he would have to turn over at this age everything to me. Like we'll sit down and talk about it, of course, but like I would have to manage. Janine did a talk or a class on knowing who you're marrying. Because at the bottom line, it is who you are. Am I marrying the guy who's like Rick, where you're letting everybody use, your credit, or if this is the guy that's the money guy, because he could be in debt. Because I know a guy like that, where he co-signing for everybody, he giving everybody his money. Now, with that comes when a person is like that, because I had a cousin that's like that. When they get a girl in a family, if they're used to using him, all HE double hockey sticks usually breaks loose when that new chick comes in, or the wife coming in, shutting it down at our age. I have seen it across the board, because now the money train has stopped.
Right.
Now, if he can stand up to that, and because usually it's family, if he's been hooking his mama up or sisters up, paying a rent, doing etc. Now here comes Zondra, like, no, all this is gonna stop. It usually causes a ripple effect in the family. So that's why the credit and the money thing is usually a big thing, because I am really careful with money and at our age. So if he can handle that, and he's cool with that, and he's like, you know what, babe, and he's in agreement after counseling and stuff like that. But if he's true to his word, because with that, I'll have to watch it and see. Because if it's that mama and the sister, that's usually the hardest, because then they don't like you. Now it's gonna be issues.
That's true. Z, that exact thing happened.
Yes.
And being the oldest, taking care of everything and so forth, at home.
Yeah.
At one time, I had to really say, okay, listen, something's got to give. Mom, you either can come stay with me, or we're going to, something has to give.
Right.
But I had to focus on home. And you're absolutely right. But you leave to cleave, period.
Yeah.
You work that out pretty much whatever you can with mama, and that she may be older, or whatever that looks like. That's becomes a responsibility. But yes, absolutely, that has to be talked about. It has to be your spouse.
Right. And what I want you to understand, we just use that credit thing.
Right, I know, just as a
the concept, what I'm talking about, there's not going to be some perfect person.
Right.
You're
right.
There will always be an area that you may consider on your list as a weakness. Maybe it ain't the credit score. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that he already have 3 children. Maybe they older. Maybe you like, I don't want nobody to kid. But what I'm just making the point.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have something. So you're
I agree.
Decision like what Janine was.
I agree. That's good. Before we go on, this is so good. You guys, I keep forgetting to tell you guys to like, subscribe, and share to Betterflies Entertainment. Oh my gosh, at gmail.com. Guys, come on our YouTube channel. Eventually, you will only be able to see the show on Betterflies Entertainment YouTube channel. So again, like, subscribe, share. Send in your letters to betterfliesentertainment at gmail.com or Zondra S as in Sam Wilson at yahoo.com. Do not be afraid to send in your letters. We will read them. If you don't want to say, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
We will read them and we will give you amazing.
The 3 of us.
Oh,
don't be afraid
the
of
3
of us.
But this is so good. This is so good, Janine.
Look, and I talk about Gary all the time. Gary's 12 years younger than me. Please know I was not looking for that. I was like, Lord, I want someone my age. I know we talked about this. I had a list.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. My age or older than me.
Yeah.
That was a deal breaker until Mr. Baines walked in front of me. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to miss my blessing if this remains a deal breaker.
Come on.
No, I agree. No, I hear you. That's why I admit I'm like, that's why I admit I need help in certain areas as to not to know what to accept. And then it boils down to what I can deal with. Because at the end of the day, certain things is like you mentioned, if he has kids, suppose he's all of that. And he has someone asked me this one dude asked me this. He was like, if he had 9 kids, I'm like, oh, if he was like, but Zondra, he can afford to take care of them. And I'm like, man, a lot of that depends at my age, because when you're older and you're getting married, now people are funny acting about their houses, their property, who getting what, but it's a difference I've noticed. Doesn't mean it's going to be in my case. So it depends on him and how he feels about his children, right?
Right.
So You know, so how?
Zondra, you said something real quick, Pastor.
Go ahead.
Zondra, you said something. You said it depends on what you can take or what you can handle.
Or what I can
right?
deal with, yeah.
What you can deal with. I would like to suggest that it really depends on what God has called you to deal with.
That's a good point.
Right? Because if you remain in the
Child.
what I can, most of us would
Child.
run in the other direction,
Yeah.
right? So you have to be willing,
That's true.
if you want God to bless it and be in it, to step back from what I think I can handle and what I think I can deal with and say, okay, Lord, we've talked about my list, but more importantly than this list is who you have for me.
Yeah.
What kind of marriage ministry you want me to be in, because you want to use it a particular way to continue to build up your kingdom.
That's good.
You got to get out of the way.
Janine, that's good. The issue with me, I'll have to know that it's God, because we talked about this, like you guys know I'm taking care of my dad with dementia. So what if God sends me someone, you can live with dementia for 20 years, and the dude is at the early stages. You know what I'm saying? Would I even hear God if that's my husband?
Prayer.
Yeah, I would hope at your age
with
you're
him
not dating someone with dementia. I would just hope.
No. What I'm saying, Janine's point, which I think is very now you know I be taking what you say serious. Look, I'm about to waste. Go ahead, Rick. I know you have something
I had
to
a
say.
quick question. Would it be possible? Would it be in your a thought that you would sign a prenup?
I don't want to. I want to go in completely. I want to go in completely just free. I just want to be free, right? Now, if I got like $5 billion, I may now I ain't got. Now I don't have. I have a little bit of money, but nothing like $5 billion. So, being honest, I'm gonna attract a whole lot of people with $5 billion in the bank account, as opposed to now. Now, I mean, being honest, now if a guy is approaching me, it's a very good chance he really does, just like Zondra. $5 billion, I have to kind of be like, well,
no. And the reason why I bring that up, because particularly in the age bracket, people you mentioned have accumulated more. They have more to lose, and maybe that will be a conversation that comes down the line, not just for him, but for yourself, obviously. So that
Oh yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. So that's really good. So if he has $5 billion, I don't want his money. Right. And I know I can say that to the cows come home. So a lot of that just depends on what it is he's expecting of me.
Sure.
Because I do have I have a career I'm trying to act. But if he's like, I need you to be home, need you to do, see, that changes everything. But if I can still live in the freedom that I'm living in, I don't want his money. I want, but
hey, he got $5 billion. You said $5 billion.
I said $5 billion.
You spending that?
No, I am. But what I'm saying is that I would marry him with a look. You'll marry him with a prenup. And start sliding money over in other people's name. All these offshore bank accounts. But that's not why I would marry him. But I hear you, Rick. That's a really good question. Like if he's uncomfortable. Like, because again, everybody say they don't want your money. I wouldn't mind. I would not. It would not be a deal breaker if he asked me to sign a prenup. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think anybody who married you with $5
but the credit score. Prenup is not a deal breaker, but credit score.
Credit score implies he ain't got no money, but that's not always the case. Because I heard about Jay-Z. I heard Jay-Z's credit score was jacked.
Credit score.
I heard, but he, we know Jay's a billionaire. I'm like, how you jack with it? But anyway, I guess he wasn't paying his bills on time.
If you just
I'll tell you, I don't need credit. I got $1 billion. I don't need credit.
Oh, you just see the
True.
Hey, my name is my credit.
Right.
I got it. Run them
keys.
Run me them keys, man.
Oh, gosh. Okay, Colette, the man that God would send would be understanding of your dad's situation. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, and that's another very good thing as far as but yeah, I agree. I wouldn't even touch that until I can't see getting with a guy like when you gonna put him in there, because a lot of people think, well, when you gonna place him, when you gonna place him, and it's like
Hey, Zondra, let me jump to the question that kind of got this started.
go ahead.
You was talking about you have a problem with the beginning of dating
Yeah,
because you really want to know how the person really feels about you early on.
Yeah.
initially,
You want to
just
know
initially.
is you is or is
Or
you
is
ain't.
you
I
ain't?
mean,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so when do you expect you should know if this is the one or this not?
This is what I want to know. I see that part. I agree with you that may take time. I agree with you when you say you're dating someone and you getting to know them and you trying to get. I agree with you guys 100%. The issues, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm sure it's on me when I'm meeting guys or when you meet a person. I just want to make sure that his intentions initially are legit, meaning he's not just getting with me because he heard on the show I've been celibate for 20 years. Because I've been running into guys that just try to, their mindset is to try to break me. Believe it or not, just believe it or not, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the one. And
Yeah, I
so right. So I don't know if that's his whole thing or not. I want to avoid all of that crap. All I want to know initially is if he genuinely initially is like, she seems like someone that I would want to date or want to marry for real. Now that is where I need a dating coach or someone in that can weed out a lot of the stuff that I may miss. And then after that, I can take it from there. Because if he likes me, eventually it'll start rolling. Because now we're dating, and it goes back to what Janine said. Because some people, when they're dating and going out, they just date one person. A lot of guys that I've run into, they're just dating multiple people. Going back to what you said, Pastor Jose, I don't know if I know I initially like you, but I don't know if you're the one. So I'm dating around to see. So if he's dating around, then I'm going to date around. I don't like that, dating around. But with that, for me, I will put boundaries up, meaning we ain't going to do no kissing, because you're going to be kissing on me, and then you kissing on her, then you kissing on, we ain't about to do all that. So those are where the boundaries will come in at. So I just need to know initially that he legitimately wants to have a relationship with me. After that, everything else is just because it'll just smooth sailing. It'll go smooth sailing. If we're just dating one another exclusively, meaning which is what I would like, and then he may decide after a month, this ain't what I want. I may decide after a month this, and then we just go on to other people. I just think when you're dating multiple people, it just kind of the waters get murky. But that's just me.
But that's only if you know what you want. If you're dating exclusively just one person, that's an indication. Yeah, you're trying to get to know the person, but in my opinion, dating, that's a crazy definition within itself. It's murky.
Right.
So, in my opinion, possibly to have you date, for the lack of better, court is probably a deeper word.
Courting, right?
Yeah, courting probably a deeper word, but dating different men in a sense of collecting data, see what you want, and to see if even the chemistry's there. Because it'll take longer. You find out a month in, this is not for me. Well, maybe if you go on multiple dates.
See, that's my problem. I think the chemistry, pretty early on. If you're attracted to someone, right?
Sure.
Now, for me, which is what I probably need, I need the opposite. Whereas I need to, like, if you guys bring me somebody, I'm like, I'm not necessarily attracted to him, but let me just see. That's where I've grown a little bit. I'm going to trust that the dating coaches, whomever is bringing me somebody that's quality that maybe I can or cannot see. So you're bringing somebody, maybe he's not the physical stature that I'm tall. I want a tall guy. Maybe he's not tall, right? Maybe he's a little bit heavier than what I'm used to. Maybe he has more children than I'm used to. Before, I wasn't even going past we didn't get past the second, he got how many kids, and then certain things that's very important is if he has children, Pastor, but then he don't see them. Or it's always something where, the mama keeping me from them. I'm seeing. No, I'm so serious.
That's my point when it comes down to, getting to know someone, that you keep your options open where, dude, a month in, you find out, nah, man, I got 6 kids. What? And I wasted a month dating this one dude.
You know what is lacking across the board, whether we're talking about relationships, intimate relationships with your coworkers, neighbors, anybody. We have lost the art, maybe we never had it, of just open communication.
Yeah.
Without a whole lot of baggage and emotions.
Yeah.
We are afraid to speak our truth.
Right.
Yep.
We are afraid to put it all out there and say, this is who I really am and what I like, I don't like. It's like we're walking around on eggshells. Nobody's really communicating. We all want answers.
Right.
And it is just a hot, frothy
freaking mess. I agree. I agree.
You have to be able to say, I'm dating right now. And for my definition of dating it's not necessarily just one person.
Right.
We go to the movies, we go out to lunch, we go to concerts, etc. That's what I call dating. And then when you want to date exclusively, this is what dating exclusively means to me.
Right.
I am not also going to lunch, dinner, concerts, etc. with other people. I will spend time with you solely to see if there's a there.
I agree. I agree, Janine. That's real good. Being honest, I think.
There's one comment, and I want to put it up. Zondra is looking for Mr.
That's not
Bird.
True, John.
That
is not true. That is not true, John.
He's not out there.
That is not true.
You know what? So I will say this. I understand what John is saying, but in my sister's defense, when you have been married to knuckleheads, you have a history of knuckleheads, you have baggage, you've been hurt, you've been dogged, you've been taken advantage of, you've been lied to, all of those things, right? You bring that to the next situation, right or wrong.
Absolutely.
And Pastor Rick, when I was talking to you the other day, I said, it's like somebody goes to a car dealership, all these cars on the lot, they pick one, they test drive the heck out of it, they just bring back the steering wheel and go on with their lives, right? You are that wrecked car on the 405.
Yep.
Right? Now, when you do make it back to the car lot, you can just sit there in a crumpled heap and hope somebody wants to invest the time, or you can do what you need to do to fix yourself up.
Sure.
Get back to
right. So the next person, when you're willing to take a risk, the next person that walks by will want to test drive.
Right.
That's
I agree.
hard to do. So, but look, on both sides, if we've been hurt, we have to understand, can't stay in that place. Got to put it back together, right? Because the next person that's coming doesn't need to take the responsibility for what the last one did, right?
Yeah.
And as you go to the next person, understand that someone that I'm meeting could have been dogged.
Yeah.
Right.
Part of what my responsibility, my job may be for this person for a lifetime, listen, as Pastor Rick says, or a season, is to help with the healing and treat them right. Again, it comes down to communication.
Yeah. I agree. That's good. That's good. And the issue is people being honest. When you just start, that's the thing that I run into. And it's not just on the guy end, it's on the woman's end too. And I think John or somebody posted where people put their best foot forward. Pastor, you actually did a teaching back, this is a long time ago at Calvary, where we put on our best, and I get it. We want to, when we're meeting someone, we want to look good. I understand that, but the honesty is what's missing. We're not transparent. And I'm not saying you tell everybody all your freaking business. I've had 10 partners and I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is being honest. And then if there's a question or something that's you're uncomfortable, tell me. That's none of wouldn't say none of your business, but I feel uncomfortable talking about that right now. Because there are things that people talk about that one of them is sex. It's our culture now is so comfortable with sex on the first date, kissing on the first date, inappropriate touching. It's so much on the first date now to where before I was like, Zondra, you don't need to say that. Now you gotta say it. I was told before when I was dating, don't say that. Now you need to say it so he won't feel like because at the end of the date, if I just say, okay, pat him on the back, then he think I don't like him.
Yeah, I want to answer that after Rick. Go ahead, Rick.
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, as far as on the what Janine picking up what Janine said about it's called, I believe it's called trauma bonding. When you bond with somebody through trauma, and what happens is, as Janine says, you take that trauma from one relationship to another, and you're constantly trauma bonding, and all of a sudden you just literally a heap of mess, sitting there, not confused, not knowing what to do, how to date, how to go about, a decent relationship. So Jenny, I just wanted to commend you on that. That's how it is now, and unfortunately. But go ahead, Pastor Dale.
And what I see is the reason why people are not being honest, why, as Janine talking about, we don't have the open communication, like all of this. What I've discovered, because of everything y'all talked about, the hurt of the past and all that we went through, the rejection, the abandonment, the abuse, most people dating, their first primary objective is not love. The first primary objective is not being hurt.
Right.
That's they come into it with that objective. I can't be hurt again. I can't be hurt again.
That's good. That's good.
I can't tell you I'm a business because you might hurt me. I can't be open. You might reject me. I can't be. You might abandon me. And you ain't gonna want me. I gotta have sex with you because you might not see me again. You might not call me back. So everyone is dating in a fear-based.
That's true. That's good.
Fearless dating.
Yes.
Come on. There's the book. Okay. Put that down.
Fearless dating. I'm writing it. I'm writing it down.
Janine. I published it.
Fearless dating. That's good, Pastor.
How'd you publish it? I got the copyright.
That's good. And that's so true.
I already made the money. Too late.
That's true. You're going in it like I ain't trying to get hurt, so I ain't trying. That's true.
No, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh my gosh, that is so true.
Yeah.
And love relationships is a risk.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. The conversation I just had recently. Let me share the story. Someone I know been through a lot, went through a divorce, horrible, ugly divorce, and really just hadn't dated years, like done, and celibate, just focusing on being a single parent. And so recently they met someone, and they was telling me about it. Pastor Jose, I met someone, and I mean, we just met. It's very fresh, and but oh my God, it feels so good. Like, and they were saying like I'm not being my normal self. Where I would go, I would have all these questions. They kind of got a Zondra personality. They say I ain't done none of that. It's like I don't want like and they were just kind of afraid because they're catching themselves being so uncharacteristically themselves.
Yeah.
And they're feeling so good. It's so fresh, and they're having great conversations, great dates. Great time. They don't have a title. They ain't putting nothing on it. They're just, and here was my advice to them. Because they was like, I don't know. Do I need to this? Do I need that? I said, no. Enjoy, because you ain't out here fornicating. You ain't y'all doing it responsibly and maintaining your integrity. I say, enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
You ain't been this happy in 3 years. Why ruin what you have afraid of what might happen? See, that's what We
That's
want you can't even
true.
enjoy it. Let's say if a
That's
month
good.
from
That's
now
good.
you're gonna find out he ain't worth jack. Fine. Get off the train a month from now. But
Simple.
enjoy the view while you own it. Like quit living with
That
wait
is true.
fearlessly.
That's good.
Enjoy the moment, the time
Yes.
that God has given. If you're not compromising your standards, you're not doing something you're uncomfortable with.
Right.
Enjoy the freaking ride until the wheels fall off.
Fall off.
Simple.
That's
Yes.
good.
Because you
That's
never know.
good.
And honestly, you never know
That's
what
it.
comes out of that. You never know. So taking the risk is obviously being vulnerable. And I think that's, we go back to the whole social media aspect where we start dating the profile. And there's no
Ooh.
transparency in the profile.
Right. And the profile has an old picture.
Talk to me 10 years ago.
You in
Old
love
dude,
with that
bald headed,
20-year-old
got a pop
picture.
belly, and he got a picture from 86. Come on, man. What we
Hey,
doing?
don't nobody
Wow.
want Jerry curls no more. What's that?
You know, when the picture
no
has
more,
got the
son.
lean on it, you know.
Yeah,
that's an
yeah,
old
come on
picture
now.
with the lean.
Right, with the lean. And the brothers pretty much had the gangster
Sure.
pose or,
Yeah.
or
The prison
pose
picture, the
or-
prison pose. That's true. That's
Yeah.
right, Rick.
I'm talking about this brother got a shag
Yeah.
with a ducktail.
That's
With a
86.
ducktail, son.
That's 86.
And
Man.
my point with
86.
it is that
That's
we
good.
don't get past the transparency, or we don't get to the transparency. We don't see it because people are so here we
That's
go.
good. Fear. Your
They
fear.
want to keep their brand. They're branding themselves. They showboating it because if I don't got it together, I'm not going to let you know about it.
Right.
You'll probably find out 3 or 4 years down the line. Because
Okay, wait, they're
That is
branding, but it's
good.
false advertising.
it is
That
false
part right there.
advertisement.
Well,
That's
right,
it.
right, right. Look, I'm gonna
Yep,
say this. I'm
yep.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
That's good.
I am currently happily married.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy. I'm happily married. Here's the point I'm making. Because I'm enjoying every moment of it. I've lost it, so I know to cherish. I'm enjoying it. Now, God forbid, I'm just making a hypothetical point. If my wife cheated on me next weekend and I walked in and caught it, I would still have zero regrets because I've had the ride of my life for these past 3 years.
There you go.
Oh, what
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're implying that it's over. You go ahead and forgive her and you keep on moving.
No, it's over. But the point I'm making is I had a good time. I ain't regret none of it. I enjoyed it.
See how men are.
No, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Now, what's the next adventure? I'm going to live. I'm
Yeah.
not going to not enjoy this moment,
Right.
afraid of when it might end. When it
Right.
ends, it ends. But until it ends, I'm enjoying it.
Right. And now take this now.
Yeah, that's good. I hear you.
He's coming
That's
from a
good.
perspective, ladies,
This is good.
that he's been through it. He's earned
Yeah.
badges. He's
Yeah.
been through it in his life. Think
Yes,
about
sir.
that. And so he came to the conclusion and said, you know what? Come hell or high water, whatever,
Yes.
this is how it's going to be. And the truth of the matter is, if we're honest, look, all of us getting up in age, some of us.
They are.
Yeah.
Y'all are right. The fact of the matter is,
Yeah.
as you get up in age, you don't want to waste that time. And this is the advice to everybody, honestly. Don't waste your time.
That's it.
Just look, have the common
Enjoy.
to date properly, responsibly.
Responsibly.
Responsibly,
I'm gonna
just
make that
look.
your perspective.
Right.
Right. You don't
Don't be waiting for someone to commit who is showing you that he doesn't want to commit. We're gonna bring that letter back.
Come on now. Come on now.
How
This is
much
good.
life you done
This
already
is
lost?
good.
How much
Right.
life you done already lost waiting on a Negro to change their mind?
Talk
They
to
got
me.
a made up mind.
Right. Ooh.
You
God
got
told me, but
to
God told me he the one. God told me he the one, Pastor.
That's
Something
another
like that.
show for season two.
Don't start that. Don't
That's
don't
the
even
show for
start that.
season two.
Wait a minute. Repeat what you said?
I said God told me he was the one.
Lord,
It's another show.
Go there. I ain't even opening that can.
Don't open up that can.
See
But I'll
you
say it.
season 2 for what to do when God told you he the one.
You won.
And he say, look,
Man,
look,
this is good.
look, watch this. Oh, Lord help me, forgive me if I'm wrong for this. You saying God told me it's the one. Life saying, and God is alive.
You know what?
Look. No, here it is.
But
Here
if
it
you
is.
saying
God told you he
saying
was the
that.
one. Did he tell him?
Girl, according to them,
Did
he
he
being
tell him?
disobedient.
I hope you don't
He
take
being
this.
Because if he didn't tell him,
Go on with your life. This
Please.
is really good. We're gonna wrap this up. This was really, really good. I really like the fearless dating. And I have to admit that I myself, like you said, I've gone into it like trying to protect my feelings in my heart. And one of the biggest things is when a person is not being honest. Like, is he lying to me? Is he lying to me? Don't lie to me. You know, which brought on why I need to know so much up front. So you just actually helped me kind of get a revelation.
yes.
But you guys still gonna help me out though. So guys, send in your letters,
Wait,
butterflies.
did you see the question that Pastor Rick brought
Yeah,
up?
I want her to answer that question. No, that was another question.
Oh, do people
Which
see the
one?
date?
No, it was to Zondra specifically.
Uh-oh.
That was the one. That was the one. That's the one I
No,
put up.
people
what
still
would
date?
he have to do to show you that? That
Yo,
question
Miss
came
Colette,
up
yeah.
when Zondra was talking about
Oh,
this, if he's dead, if he's dead. The question was, what would he have to do to show you that he is?
that's what I'm gonna have them for, Colette, because I may not know. I may miss it. I may miss it.
So what
I
he
may
have to do is convince us to tell her.
Right. Pretty much.
Yeah. I think that's what's gonna have to happen.
Lord Jesus, this is gonna be. I see
Season
12
two.
seasons out of this, but okay, let's go.
Season 2.
I love
people,
this show.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Okay, Colette, we're gonna wrap this up. What I need, like I said, once they get through the first part of it, and I'm going through praying all the way, and Pastor Noah, I'll blow up his phone if there's something I have a question with, if there's something I have an issue with,
Pastor
just so I
Hosea.
wont
You're
blow
blowing up
it.
Pastor
or
Hosea's
give-
phone. Let's get that straight. You said pastor. Hosea is your pastor.
Pastor, he's like, yeah, he's going to the brunt of all of my questions, and of course, Janine.
Yeah.
So, but I'll call him, but I will every step of the way. What's different now is every step of the way I'll be asking questions. I won't just come up with the conclusion. And Pastor can tell me, or somebody see, no, get back from
Change my number.
Yes, sir.
Change
Yeah.
it.
Well, I got Pastor Rick and I got Janine.
Hey, hold on.
Look, I got their number.
My new number. So true.
Well, who gonna walk me down the aisle? Who gonna marry me?
I give you my new number right now. 777
That's my number, sir. That's my number.
Goodness.
That's my number.
So anyway, like I said,
I done messed up the whole show.
Yes. They're gonna block it because you sing it.
I didn't think of that. Dang.
We don't own rights to that. We know that.
Oh my God.
We have no rights to that song. We might as well just sing all the way through now.
That number.
This has been amazing. I cannot believe this is our final show. This has been so amazing. This is just so informative. So many emotions is going through me. I've learned a lot. But yeah, Pastor Jose is not going to change his number. I will continue to blow his phone up. And then if he's not picking up, then Pastor Arcee and Janine, I'll leave her like 25,000 voice messages. And see, like, I'm telling the truth, y'all. Like, I'm not making stuff up, and I'm not just, and Janine can vouch for me. I will send her a bunch when I'm out jogging in the morning. Janine, do I not send you that? So this is, just being honest and transparent. Like,
the worst thing to get a text from Zondra early in the morning, sometimes at literally 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
No,
all the time.
Yeah.
4 in the morning. I just
What about doing
I ain't got time.
You're gonna have to have time for me because y'all trying to get me married. Then when I get married, then then you won't hear from me as much.
How about I'm trying to get you dating before you get married? How about that?
You know what? Why
Yeah.
don't we do this? Hey, to all the fellas that want to get in on this,
Please, I'm begging you.
the potential one for
I feel
Zondra.
like such a help.
Now, since I have a little influence,
Yeah.
you see me with a few Benjamins back door, I make it push your name to the front of the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Mira, estoy hablando con toda la gente que yo conoce. Todos los hombres.
I
Mira,
think a Spanish. You can be Spanish.
si tú eres mexicano, puertorriqueño, cubano, dominicano, no importa. Por
I can
favor.
see you sending me somebody Spanish, and I don't know what he's saying, and I be sitting up there
Hey,
smiling.
y'all might have a great relationship.
Esposa, si tú necesitas un Visa card, si quieres estar aquí,
I don't know. And then I'm asking Rick,
y
what he saying?
quédate
Rick,
aquí en
like he's
Estados
saying,
Unidos, por
he said
favor.
he loves you, Zondra.
Aclívame, por favor.
Speak to this audience. Audience, as you see, we didn't go on Buck Wow. Why don't y'all send us your comments on what you want to see from us in season 2?
Please.
What
Yes,
was missing
yes.
in season 1 that you would
Yes.
like to see in season 2? We want your thoughts and your feedback so we can bring it back even hotter next
Yes.
season.
And we're
Next
going to
se- yes,
change it up a
absolutely.
little bit. We're going to have more guests and
Yes.
co-hosts. I
Yes.
think we should even go on location.
Hey.
That would be
Right?
good.
You know what? We got
Take
some
it
good
to the
stuff.
streets.
Ship
Not
on
only
the
Get
crew.
it.
that we plan to make sure that we bring some exclusive footage with Zondra on her dates. That's the plan that we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
gonna be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if there, yes, and I'm open, and I'm definitely open to suggestions, and for, of course, my dating squad to help my sister out. So, okay, guys, this
Yeah.
has been so good, so informative. Guys, this is our season finale. Please, if you get a chance, go back and watch all of our shows. Give us some feedback. Email us again at betterfliesentertainment@gmail.com or Zondra S as in Sam Wilson at yahoo.com. You can always leave your comments in the comment section. We will absolutely love to hear from you, answer your questions. If you need even some private, if you have a private question that you don't want necessarily answered on the phone, answered on the show, send it in anyway. And then we can see if someone can answer it for you and possibly send it back. But guys, thank you for joining us.
And let's remember, thoughts and prayers goes out to all of those in Texas.
Yes.
Let's keep
Oh,
them
yes.
lifted. Love you all.
Love
Yes,
you guys.
absolutely.
Yes.
Bye,
Have a good
everybody.
summer.
Bye.